Hi everybody, this is Anthony. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Before I start with our little project today, I want to take this opportunity to wish all my subscribers and viewers a very happy, blessed, prosperous, and safe and healthy 2022. I want to thank you for your support, for your continued support during 2021. And I'm hoping that we will continue to create great things in 2022. Having said that, I want to introduce you to one of our series that I'd like to run for 2022, if everything goes according to plan, and it's called A to Z times 2. The reason why it's called A to Z times 2 is that there's 26 letters in the alphabet and there's 52 weeks in a year. So I'm hoping to bring you the alphabet and items related to the alphabet that we can use in our junk journal and that will serve a purpose for 26 weeks and then run the entire series again for the remainder or the last 26 weeks of the year, hence A to Z times 2. I hope I make sense. So what I'm going to do is that before the next month starts, I will place the topics that we are going to cover according to the weeks on my Facebook page, and that will be linked in this video below. So you're more than welcome to see it. And then at the start of every month, I will also show you what we are going to cover for the month in terms of what we can do, so that if there are any supplies that you see on the list and that you might not have or you might find difficult to get on short notice, I'm hoping that this will give you some time to be able to get that supplies. So in January, we are going to do in week 1 acetate, week 2 belly bands, 3 circles, 4 dictionary pages, and 5 enamel dots. I'm going to be using an enamel dot today. So I would like to show you how I make my DIY enamel dots. They're not real enamel dots, but they can, I think, pass off as enamel dots. Please excuse my fingers. I've got an injury here and I dropped all my distress inks on the floor, and the covers came off, so I had to sort them out, hence very dirty fingers. So please excuse that. Okay, so today we're going to start with acetate, and I'm going to use some repurposed acetate, and I'm going to use some sheets of acetate as well, A4 sheets of acetate, but you can use whatever you have in order to be able to begin with this week's project. So I'm just going to leave this to one side. I'm going to start, and I am also starting a new journal. This is my kit. I have a video with regards to my kit, and this is my fabulous flowers kit that I'm going to be using. Yeah, it's going to, you know, take its own shape as we go along, and not necessarily will all our creations be in this kit. It's just something I'm using at the moment, and if I find that I have other, you know, journals that I want to use during the course of the year, and the items that we make are more suitable for those journals, then I will be using that. But for now, I'm starting with the Fabulous Flowers digital kit. You don't have to use this digital kit. The ideas will be, you know, they will be universal enough to be able to use in, or generic enough rather, to be used in any kits. So I'm going to start with this one here. This is my first signature, and yeah, I'm going to do something with this page here. All right, so here I have a piece of acetate. Now that is repurposed acetate, and I got it from here. So I bought a multi-plug, an 8-way multi-plug, and it came in this packaging here. And what I did, sorry, the lights are very bright, and there's you can see it's coming through over there, so hopefully it will be very quick. What I actually did here was that I cut one part of it out. So I cut that part out, and to be able to make that, and then I resized it to do that. And then as I need, then I'm just going to cut them out and use them for whatever other, you know, ephemera I want to use. So I just want to show you that we can use this, and in fact this is quite nice because it's quite sturdy. So the first thing we are going to be making up, sorry, just putting that away, is pockets. And this is the pocket that I'm going to be making. The pocket measures, I don't think the measurements are exact because, you know, I had to cut it, but it's 14 centimeters by 8 centimeters, and you will make the pocket the length and the width depending on the size that you require for your junk journal. But that's what we're going to be using there. Sorry, I'm stretching, and sorry for my runny nose. So I left the borders at the moment, and I will take them out when I cut the pages, or I don't know, I might even ink them up so that I don't have to cut it. But as you can see, it's away from the fold line, and it's quite away from that the edge of the page there. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, and I am going to add two-sided tape on both sides. Yes, so I do hope you are all well, and I hope that 2022 has started off well for all of you. I know that it was a very quiet but good 2022 start for us here for our family, and I'm hoping the same for you. We are not in lockdown per se, but with this new Omicron variant, people are taking things quite easily. Oh goodness, yes, talking so much and not being able to concentrate on what I'm doing. So let's see if we can salvage that. Yep, I guess we can. Sorry, this is moving around. The reason I've got it here is because the lights are reflecting on that, and hopefully I don't want you to be blinded by it. Sorry. Let's see. Oh, that was easy. Expected it to be harder. Oh well, I shouldn't have spoken too soon, eh? See what happens when you speak too soon. Okay. Managed to get that out as well. So this is the thinnest tape I have at the moment. It must be just a few millimeters. Look at that. I'm trying to, you can see that white, got caught on the white. So I'm trying to see when I can match the white up. With the white there, so that it doesn't show. And yeah. So just want to get up quickly, sorry, just to get something out. Yes, so you will see it. You will see the tape on that. on either side. But if anyone knows of a better way of sticking acetate without the adhesive showing, please put it in the comments below. I'll really appreciate it. Right, so I thought we'll just decorate it a little bit. Oh. Add that there. And I'm going to try my all-purpose glue. I've never tried it before on acetate, so I'm hoping it'll work. And this is from part of my kit. It's just a circle that I've cut out. Add a little bit more. I suppose that we're going to have to let it set or settle with a word. And then one of my little flowers that I crocheted a while ago. I'm not can't really crochet, but I try. So this is fabric glue that I'm using. So I'm not sure how much of projects you have lined up, but I'm hoping to be able to finish a few junk journals this year. I'm going to say I'm hoping, and let's see how it goes, hey? So these are my enamel dots. I've made them in this color, and when I do my series on it, then I'll go into more details. And I've also got these ones that I made as well, and these are more translucent. These ones here, but those are too big for that, so I'm going to be using these tiny ones over here. And let's take my DIY enamel dots. Let's see, should we take that color or should we take this color? No, I think the peach. That's that. So these are pocket, our acetate pocket. If you want, you could have punched a half circle to create a notch in it, but you're going to see I'm going to be putting a tag in this just now, so I didn't really need to create the notch. Oh, and it sticks pretty well. For those of you that are in South Africa and you want to know about the glue that I use, it is called cable glue. It's from Galma, and it is acid free. So if you want any more details on that. Okay, so that was the one. Now this is the second one that I'm going to do. So what I did over here is that I took cardboard, this is the color, it's in peach, and I cut a tag, and I made the tag 7.5 across, 7.5 centimeters across, by 15 centimeters wide. And then all I did was that I took a piece of acetate, the normal A4 acetate, and I took stamped it. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I stamped it with. Okay, so here's the embossing folder that I use. It's from Ultimate Crafts and it's called Watercolor Blooms. So it's from Ultimate Crafts and it's called Watercolor Blooms. Yes, so I've used that. I think I got that in Mossel Bay when I went on holiday one year, so I can't really tell you, and I live in Gauteng. And then I used a flourish stamp. Okay, but I mean, you can use any stamps that you want to, it doesn't really matter. But what I wanted to show you, or I think the important thing that I wanted to show you is what ink I used. And I used the Ranger ink pigment ink pad in Glacier White. It's an opaque ink, it's permanent, waterproof, and they say that it can be used on a variety of non-porous surfaces. But what I want to tell you is that when you do use this, you're going to have to let it dry for a while. So if you look at it very closely, I actually smudged it over here. This image is quite clear. The other images are quite clear, but I smudged that one over there because I touched it beforehand. So when you do it, I suggest that you stamp it overnight and then you leave it to dry. Turn it, you leave the stamp side up to dry and overnight, and then you use it. In my rush to be able to do it, I actually did use the heat gun for a very few seconds on it. It didn't seem to damage it in any way, but I would prefer, most of the time what I do is that I do leave it overnight. Okay, so here, as I mentioned, I embossed it. And I then put some gold on it, which is, I think I've already mentioned this, Heritage Magic Touch Old Gold. So I used some of that on it. And then I cut the tag out to the side, to the size of that tag, the acetate tag. And I'm just feeling this because this is the side that I stamped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the side that I stamped and I'm going to place it over the card. And the reason why I'm doing that is because then there is a less chance of the ink scraping out. Now, I'm not sure, maybe stays on in white might work. I know there is a stays on in white. I don't have it. Okay, I've only got black and the brown. So maybe stays on in white would be a better option, but I don't have it, so I'm using this. And then I am just going to put a little eyelet on it. And I had my eyelet over here. Yes, I wanted to show you this. So I wanted to show you this. So I have this eyelet. Oh my goodness, my hands are so dirty. I have this eyelet which I painted with nail polish. I painted it a long time ago and I just found it on my desk. So I decided to use it. Nail hardener, Brucey, and that's the color. But I'm assuming any nail polish is going to work. I suppose that's an experiment you need to try out. And what I'm going to do is that I am going to place that eyelet in just for fun. It's quite a contrast, but yeah, I think I like it. I'm going to take my crocodile and let's see if I get it right. Yes, I suffer for this. I don't know why, don't ask me. Maybe I don't use it often enough. so I'm going to try that. There you go. It's perfectly right. So I use my crocodile and I punch the hole in, and then I'm going to add it to the pocket. And I just think that is so cute. Guys, did you notice I actually didn't put ladies, not guys, did you notice that I didn't put two-way tape here? I completely forgot. Completely missed the boat on that one. I'm going to have to sort that out later on. I don't want to do it on camera because it's going to take a long time. I'm going to have to, it's going to be very fidgety to do in order to put the two-way tape there. But yes, so that's it. And if you give me a second, I'm going to get some ribbon to be able to add to that. So just give me a second. All right, so I just got some ribbon, some organza ribbon to add to that. And I'm going to add this ribbon to it. I've got a beautiful peach that would have really gone well with it, but the only thing is it's too thick, so that's not going to work. So I'm going to use the white. Gosh, I'm finding it so difficult to work with this plaster, band-aid. We call it plaster in South Africa. Yes, I'm finding it so difficult to work with that. Excuse me, but there you are. So that's 2 projects. You can add other things to it. I want to keep it simple. The reason why I want to keep it simple is because I want to the reason why you have the acetate, in my opinion, the reason why I want to have the acetate pocket, is because I wanted to see the page, what the beautiful page behind it. Hence the reason why I put that acetate pocket. So I think this is more than enough decorations for that. Okay, so then I've got the last one to show you now. So we've done the pocket, we've done the tag where we stamped, and you know, even if you want to, you can actually stamp on the pocket itself. And maybe if you stamp on the pocket, you could hide the two-way tape in a way. I think that would work. As like, for example, a little bit of this eyelash trim is hiding the two-way tapes. So maybe if you stamp on the pocket itself, you know, at strategic points where your two-way tape is, you might be able to add the hide the two-way tape. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to leave it to the side over here, and maybe you can see it. Right, so my next project is this here. Just trying to prepare it. So what did I do over here? I'm going to try and take you through it. So this is nothing new. This is just an acetate tag, but I did it a little differently, and gosh, I'm sure some, you know, many others have done it this way out there, but I didn't want to sew it. I didn't want to sew it, and I also did not want to add the two-way tape. Gosh, I'm getting stuck for words. So I wanted to have some way to enclose whatever I add in here. Now, having said that, if you sew, then you know you can make it like a shaker card where you can put in sequins and you can put in little bits of items in it. However, with this over here, you're not going to be able to do that because it's not a complete closure or fully sealed closure, because in between these here you still have the gap, if I could say that, between the two tapes. But this is just one way of doing it. So let me show you what I did over here. So I cut, this is normal acetate, the A4 acetate, and that is in centimeters. I cut it at 16 centimeters high and 8 centimeters wide, and I left a little border around it. But I think in what I would like to do going forward is that or later on is that I would like to use one of these fancy scissors on the side to be able to give it a prettier edge, which I might do just now. Right, so 8 centimeters by 16 centimeters. What I did here is that I started punching holes 1 centimeter in, 1 centimeter from here, 1 centimeter from there, 1 centimeter from that edge. So 1 centimeter from that edge, 1 centimeter from that edge, and 1 centimeter from that edge, which is about maybe 1/4 of an inch. You can make your tag whatever size you want to, and then you can just line it up in terms of the punched holes the way you want to. But let me show you how I did that. So I decided that I was going to use a template in order to be able to use this, and then I used a dry erase marker, okay, you know, the ones you use for the whiteboards. So I use that because then I can take out the marks that I make, and I used my template and I placed it on the acetate, and then I traced around the acetate. And then the trick I found is that if, let's say you trace around the acetate, okay, so let's say you traced around that acetate. I have a piece of acetate over here. I don't know whether you can see it, just in case you can't, you are not able to see. But if you look at that, you know, when you trace around it, you kind of get to, well, you get a thick line, if I can call it that, a thick line. And I suppose it depends on how thick the nib of your dry marker is. Mine is pretty thick. So in order to be able to keep as close to the measurements as possible, you need to cut on the inside of the line. So that is the inside of the line. So imagine if your line was, you know, it was 4-sided, you must cut on the inside of the line, not on the outside of the line, because then you will be off by a few millimeters on each side if you start cutting on the outside of the line. So don't cut on the outside of the line, always cut on the inside of the line. That is going to mark your tag. Okay. Then what I did is I took a normal paper clips, okay, and then I just took the 2 tags and I added it together. So they are 2 pieces of acetate here. If you look at it, there's 2 pieces of acetate. So I put them together, and then I took my what's this, sweaty self-healing mat, and then I added it to I lined it up from the side, okay, in the bottom on the 0 mark, okay. So this is in centimeters, but in millimeters as well. And then I started punching, sorry, I didn't start punching holes. I started putting dots on my holes. Okay, so I put a dot there, and I put it at every 2 centimeters. Okay, so that's less than an inch. Okay, so I added one at 1 centimeter, 3 centimeters, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, and 15. And then I got a 1 centimeter on the top, and that's going to be my tag of it. I mean, you know, the top of my tag. And then I went across. So if you go across, it's all then 1, 3, 5, 7, and then I came down. And then, so there's some, here's the ones that I did now, that I actually am doing again for you, with you, I should rather say. So those are the ones that I'm doing, right? And then what I did is I took my crocodile and I used the 1/8 what you call it, punch part of it, the 1/8, not the 3/16. And then I just added it to the bottom here, and then I tried to punch as accurately as possible on the little dots that I made. So just punch the dots there. Yeah, and the good thing about using the dry erase tape, dry erase pen, is that after you were done, you can just wipe out all those marks and they will come out from the acetate. So that's that. And if you look at it, the punched out holes from the end of this or the beginning of this to the punched out holes, there is a smaller gap excuse me, between the side here. So I'm going to make that my top, okay, and I'm going to make this my bottom. So I'm going to start threading from here. So here's some ribbon, and I don't know, I'm just gonna measure it, maybe 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think 4 times. I think 4 times should work, and just a little bit more for good measure. Now, I don't have a needle that can help me. I have no clue where my beading needle is, so I am going to do this. I'm going to take a little bit of glue and put it on my hand. And I'm going to take the end and I am going to roll it up. Okay, so I'm hoping the 4 times is going to work, because the first time I did it, I had so much of leftover that I was so disappointed. So at least I'm trying it out now, right? So 4 times the length. Now my ribbon has polka dots on it. Yeah, you know, as fancy as we want it. Don't know, maybe 4.5. Let's see. Let's see. If we are wrong, we are wrong. I am wrong. You won't be wrong, because you can then learn from my mistakes. Yes, so as I said, mine has polka dots on it, because this was the thinnest ribbon I had. If I'm making a, what's this? I think if I'm making a nature journal and I'm going to do this, I am definitely going to use some twine. Okay, so if you looked at it, I started from the front going to the back. I threaded my cotton from, my ribbon from the front, going to the back. And having said that, now, silly me, and then you just alternate. Now, I think this is the most tedious part of the whole thing. And here we go. So this here is a Tim Holtz one. Now this I cut it out of I did some gel coloring on my pages with food coloring, and I'm with a pink. I did it with thin cardboard, and then I used the Tim Holtz die to cut that out. Oh, whoa, can you hear that? That is some serious thunder. So I'm just going to fit it in and use this. If you've got an awl, you can use that. And yes, I decided to go with a very complex pattern because I just liked it. So if your die cut is not so complex, you're gonna find it easier. And then this, I use my silhouette cameo, and I cut that out. I don't think this is a Tim Holtz one. I don't believe so. I stand to be corrected, but I don't think so. And then I just wanted to add that in as well. And then what you can do is that you can open them out on the sides, which is proving difficult because I've got this plaster on my finger. But you can do that, and then you can guide this one through. And I'm sure there are much more easier ways to do this, but I didn't want to add any glue to it. Trust me, it wasn't so difficult on the first one I made. Let's get in. Oh dear. It's Murphy's Law. You hear people say when you're on camera things don't work. It is absolutely so true. So please do find an easier way to do it. Don't be like me. I'm just being pedantic now. There you go. So that's that. And then that's in here. And I've got 4 holes on the top, and that was because of my measurement. But let's say you have 5. Then that's not a problem. You just make sure that when you're ending up, you put your, you thread your, it will mean that both of your ribbons will be threaded through the same hole. So if you've got an odd number, if you've got an even number, then you can do this. But if you've got an odd number, both your ribbons will come out, go in and come out of the same hole. So that's the tag. And you know, with me, I can never get my bows right, so I'm always trying to get it right. I like that. And not be perfect, but you can always play around with it. Now, there's all the lines over there. Let's get some wet wipes to remove that lines. So they're on the inside. But yes. Yeah. So I was saying just now that maybe we should, you know, you can do this. Take a decorative scissor, if you have one. And cut the edges. How pretty is that? I like that. This makes such a huge difference. You know, even if you have a pinking shear, it'll work. Any decorative scissors will work. Just gives it such a nice finish. Yep, there you go. So that's done. Let me pick it up for you for a closer look. I will cut off the ends a little after I decide exactly how I'd like my bow to look, and then cut off the extra. But here you go. Can you see that? It's pretty, really pretty. Yep. So that's the one I made now, and that's the one. Let's just cut that out. That I made before. It's almost the same. That's it. And here I left the edges straight, and here I use the decorative scissors, pure scissors, to do that. So let's see what we've done with acetate today. Hope this was fun. I'm not sure whether it's new, but I hope it was fun. So we've done an acetate pocket. And as I mentioned, I'm going to be showing you how to do the faux enamel dots. Then we've done a stamping on acetate for a tag, and then I just backed it with an embossed tag so that it stands out a bit more, and I've added it to the acetate pocket, which I need to fix up because I forgot to put the two-way tape there. And I'm sure all of you were saying, Santini, you forgot to put it, Santini, but unfortunately I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you. Yes, so that, the acetate pocket, the acetate tag with some stamping on it, and then the no-sew acetate tag here with some ribbon on it, and with a little bit of a decorative edge. I can't find my words. Here's one with a plain edge, and this too, this can go into a pocket. It doesn't, I don't know, you know, you can put it into a pocket like this. Suppose it will work. Oh, you can find a different pocket to put it into, or you can use it for something different. But those are the 3 projects that I had for acetate, using up acetate, and we mentioned that this was recycled acetate. So I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you're going to try it out. And if you do, please, enjoy it. And if you want to, you can add comments. And if you would like, I'd really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed as yet, please consider subscribing. As I mentioned, we are going to be doing the A to Z ×2. So the next week we are going to be doing belly bands, and doing something with belly bands. And please consider also subscribing to or joining my Facebook group. It is very new at the moment, but I'm hoping that, you know, it will grow in 2022 as I bring along some videos, and we get to start relationship building a little bit more. Please do take care. Please be safe. Be blessed. And thank you for watching. Bye bye from Sunny Creates.